Blender for Noobs.
Hello, this is Dan Nobles and welcome to Blender for Noobs. In this tutorial we're going to look at how to get rid of those pesky little fireflies that show up when you do your render in cycles. And just to show you what I mean, by the way, this model here that I'm showing you is sort of like a GyroCopter that I created after a video tutorial. The tutorial that I followed is available from blendercookie.com, and it is by Jonathan Williamson. A really good tutorial. It just covers a whole lot of stuff, just in case anybody's interested. Okay, let me show you real quick what I'm talking about with the fireflies. Many of you already know what I'm talking about. If you can see this image, you see little white dots in it, and if we zoom in here, we can see them really well. Just a real pain to see when you're trying to render a nice clean image. You can see them all over the place. What are they? Well, what they are is anytime you use materials that use the glossy nodes or the transparent nodes, translucent nodes, anything that is trying to create reflections, you'll probably come up with these fireflies. And what it is Blender Cycles is trying to reproduce the reflections and the light that's reflecting off of it, and depending on your settings, it's not quite getting it in the right. Some of the pixels are just too bright. I mean, that's what it boils down to. And so there's been a lot of talk about how to get rid of these things, anywhere from making a very high resolution render of your image and then resizing it down so people won't notice it like that. That's ridiculous. It takes forever to try to do something like that, and you shouldn't have to do something like that. Some people have written scripts to try to get rid of them. Some people have said, set your samples as high as you can possibly go. That's not really true, because you can set your samples higher and you can take more samples and you get rid of some of the fireflies, but then it ends up creating new ones. So just really a big pain. But with the latest versions of Blender, we have an easy way to do away with these pesky little fireflies, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All you have to do is, when you render your model, go up to the render settings, and you want to go down to your sampling, and you want to look at the clamp here. This is a fairly new setting, and by default it's set at 0, and at 0 it will give you exactly what you're seeing in the render, and you probably get fireflies. So what you need to do is you need to kind of play around with this setting in order to get the best setting for what your model is and what kind of materials you're using them. You don't want to set it at a low setting. Say if I went to like 0.2 or something, or 0.6, 0.06, whatever. What you're doing then is you're clamping off almost all of the light emitting from the pixels, so you're going to get a very dark render. That's not what you want. For this particular render, what I just happened to find out is I set it at 30 and it worked fine for me. This is what I got. So that's great. It got rid of all the fireflies. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to, with the clamp you can actually get rid of a lot of your reflections and things, and you don't want to take away that realism. You want to get rid of the fireflies without getting rid of the realism of the image. So just, like I say, just kind of play around with the setting to get your best render. And just as another example, something interesting I found out while I was messing around with this setting is I created this little, spheres, cube, cone type scene. And I just made these materials out of like glass and translucent materials and glossy materials and things like that. So when I rendered it, I got this, which I kind of expected. On the 0 setting with the clamp, I got some fireflies there. But then when I played around with the settings a little bit, I went to like 0.5 and I got this. And this is kind of interesting because it's actually giving you a way to give kind of like a soft light look to your image. Now you may be able to get the same thing by cutting down the power of your lamp. I don't know, I haven't really played around with that, but I just thought it was interesting that you can get that kind of look by using that clamp setting. So that's just another interesting little tidbit there. So anyway, that's how to take care of those pesky little fireflies in Blender Cycles. Hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe, give me some comments, and hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.